Welcome to Glow's Kinder Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Well, today I'm in the kitchen and I'm making a special brownie treat for dinner tonight, and I thought I'd share this with you guys. It's delicious. I haven't made it in a few years, so we're going to be doing this together. This is out of one of my Taste at Home recipe books, and it's called Chocolate Dipped Brownies, and here's the picture of it below. And it's this recipe was submitted by Jackie Archer, and she was from Clinton, Iowa. So the first step for this is you have to bring to a boil, which this is boiling now. In fact, I'm going to turn that off. It's 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of butter, and then also 2 tablespoons of water. And so once that comes to a boil like it did, you put in 1 cup of chocolate chips, semi-sweet.
Those are good.
Yes, they are. And 1 teaspoon rather of real vanilla extract. And you just stir this. And I'm going to put it on this wire rack because this needs to cool for 5 minutes. And what I'm doing here is just stirring this to combine. See how nice that combined?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Looks good.
So once this cools for 5 minutes, we're going to be putting in 2 eggs, and I'm going to beat the first one in, and then we'll add the second one. That's what you're supposed to do. And then we have 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and let's see, it's 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda that we'll be adding to this as well. Once that's all combined, we're going to be adding an extra cup of chocolate chips. So I'll be back in 5 minutes and we'll continue on with this recipe. It's so easy. Well, our chocolate mixture here has actually been cooling about 10 minutes. At 5 minutes, it didn't seem like it was cool enough for me to add the eggs. I can speak from experience. When I add eggs to something that's fairly hot, they can scramble, and then you got,
Scrambled eggs.
You got a mess. So a lot of times, well, I shouldn't say a lot of times because it's only happened a couple of times to me, and it was always when I was in a rush. So haste makes waste. So anyway, I'm going to slowly add.
Haste makes scrambled eggs.
Yeah, this egg. And we're supposed to do 2 eggs, but 1 at a time. And you just stir it till it's nicely combined. And I always whip up my egg in a separate dish, as you can tell. Okay, now we'll take the second one. Looks like it needed to be beaten a little bit more. There we go. So we're going to just add the second one a little bit at a time. There. And just stir this till it's nice and combined. Now I've got my oven preheating to 325 degrees, and that seems low, doesn't it, for brownies? But This recipe is so good, and you cook this for, I think it was 35 minutes. And then when we remove this, we cool it until it's completely cool, and then you put it in the freezer. Yes, the freezer for about a half an hour. And then you remove it, and you melt some extra chocolate along with shortening in your microwave, or you can do it in a double boiler. But then you cut your brownies, and each one of those little pieces you dip in that chocolate. So it's like a candy in a way. They're delicious. So let's go ahead and add this flour. There's 3/4 of a cup of flour. There is a half teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I just stirred that up to combine it. And now we're going to put it in here. Whoop. Just made a mess. I'm going to continue to stir this, and I'll be back, and then we're going to be adding some extra chocolate chips. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Well, I got the flour all combined in here, and now I'm just adding 1 cup of chocolate chips. They're semi-sweet still. And we're just going to stir that in.
Looks pretty rich to me.
Yeah, they are rich, but they are so good. This is a recipe that's perfect for Christmas.
Or anytime you want to make it.
Yeah, everybody seems to like it. So let me see if I can turn it and pour it in here this way so you guys can see. What I need is a spatula. Let's put that there. Spatula. These are real chocolatey. You know, they're just so yummy. If you got chocolate lovers in your family, they're gonna love it.
It's a good treat.
Yeah.
Okay, I imagine they don't last long. Everybody eats
Nope.
them.
Richard says he doesn't remember me making these before, but I think once he tries it, he's gonna remember.
It was a long
They are
time
so
ago.
good. I do make quite a few different dishes though, so.
It was quite a while ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of wiping up the edges here so I don't have such a mess. But anyway, see? So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my preheated 325-degree oven for 35 minutes. And I'll be back and we'll see what it looks like, and then it'll have to totally cool. And then we go on to our next step. Well, I just took this out of the oven. Look how delicious that looks, you guys.
It does look good.
Yep. So I baked it at 325 for 35 minutes. And now we got to let this totally cool. And then after it's cool, I'm going to be putting it in the freezer for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. And in the meantime, since my oven is hot, I'm going to go ahead and put these pecans in there. I cut them up real small, and I'm going to toast them. And the reason I'm doing that, that's going to be the decoration on top of the chocolate covered brownies. So anyway, I'll see you back in a while. Hi, well, welcome back. I went ahead and put my brownies into the freezer, and I put them in there for 35 minutes, and they became quite hard. So check yours, because I have a new freezer and it froze very quickly, because you don't want them frozen solid. But it only took like 5 minutes, and they defrosted enough that I could cut them. But I just wanted to share that with you. So I cut them into small pieces, and we're going to go ahead and dip these now into the chocolate. And we'll see what we end up with here. And you can see I did the first one there. Let's do a couple more. And then you got to put the nuts on while the chocolate is still warm on them so it adheres to it. Don't these look good?
Yes, they do. And then that coating will get hard later, right?
Correct.
Like candy.
Yep. That's exactly right. And the way this chocolate's going on, I may have to do up another batch. Now this chocolate here that I melted, I did it in my microwave, and I did it on my power level, I did 6. My microwave does cook hot. So you'll have to just play with this a little bit, but there was a cup of the Semisweet Chocolate Chips along with 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup of shortening. And what I used, I had butter Crisco. So that's what I used. So, but you can see how nice they turned out. I'm just going to put a little bit more chocolate right there on that one. So let's see if maybe if I use my fork, if it would be better.
I think it would.
I haven't made these in a couple of years, so yeah, that's better. Less mess. One thing I am going to do though is stop here and put the nuts on so I make sure that they adhere to it. And these nuts I did toast in my oven at 375 degrees. The reason I did it at that temperature is because this is a glass dish. And I just kind of finely chopped these are pecans that I'm using, but you can use whatever nuts you want. I was thinking too, if you did almond flavoring in your brownie mix, you know, your brownies as your, you know, that you were going to cook, you could put almonds on top and that would be delicious as well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this, but you can see how easy this is, and then I'll be back to sample. Well, now it's time for the taste test, and this is the best part, you guys. And look at this. Doesn't that look delicious?
It came out nice.
I will say definitely double the amount of the icing that you're going to use. I don't have a whole lot left, and I still have about half of them to dip. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to dip the others.
Might eat them plain.
We might eat them plain. But this is just a delicious recipe, and especially for the holidays. So I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. The chocolate has not completely set up yet, but I know it's going to be delicious.
So once the icing sets up, you can eat it like candy. You don't need a fork. That's good.
Oh my gosh. This is so good. But I must say, you don't want to eat a lot or you'll have a stomachache. But they are so good.
Pretty rich.
Those extra chocolate chips in that dough. Oh my gosh. They are delicious. This would make a great treat for it to take to a party or to give to someone as a gift. Oh, they're so good. I'm glad I ran across this again. That's just an excellent recipe. So anyway, I want to again thank you for watching our video. We appreciate your time. And thank you to everybody that's subscribed to our channel so far. And if you haven't and you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up and we'll talk to you later. Bye.